Frank Hughes stood beneath the harsh studio lights, the crowd around him hushed in anticipation. Before him sat the two engines, one a masterpiece born of integrity and vision, the other a bastardized clone, engineered to fail. The demonstration had already begun, but now came the moment of reckoning. He turned toward the sea of journalists, engineers, and live stream viewers across the globe. This, he said, gesturing to the Reynolds engine, is the lie. He stepped over to his own. And this is the truth they buried. Frank signaled, and Carmen triggered the side-by-side diagnostic interface on the large screen behind them. The results appeared in real time. Efficiency, emissions, thermal output. Frank's design outperformed Reynolds's by every metric. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Then came the death blow. Carmen stepped forward, holding a transparent casing with the illegal chip inside, the one they found in thousands of Reynolds vehicles. This chip is designed to fail after 60,000 miles, she said. We traced its manufacturing origin to a shell company funded by the Reynolds family's private holdings. A reporter stood. Are you saying these cars were intentionally sabotaged? Frank didn't hesitate. Yes. And people have died because of it. A storm of questions erupted. Then, the lights flickered. A new feed appeared on the screen, footage leaked from Lindell's secret archive. It showed Charles Reynolds, 15 years younger, sitting in a private meeting with the judge from Frank's original case. We need him discredited. Permanently, Charles said on camera. Frame him if you have to. The room exploded into chaos. Cameramen surged forward. Phones captured every frame. The narrative was shifting in real time. The lie was unraveling. Just then, the doors at the back of the hall slammed open. Chase Reynolds stormed in, flanked by lawyers and corporate security. His face was red, sweat beading at his brow. This is slander, he roared. This whole stunt is orchestrated by a convicted criminal. But the crowd didn't flinch. They had seen enough. From the audience, a voice called out. Then why is your company being investigated by the FBI? Chase froze. Another voice shouted, why did 3 of your board members resign this morning? The whispers turned to shouts. How many more people have to die, Chase? Why won't you answer the question? You lied. Devin stepped forward, holding a flash drive. This contains internal emails. Proof that Chase not only knew about the sabotage, but ordered it. Security moved in, but not to protect Chase. Federal agents emerged from the crowd. Chase Reynolds, one of them announced, you are under arrest for conspiracy, fraud, corporate espionage, and reckless endangerment. The room fell into stunned silence. Chase tried to bolt, but he didn't get 2 steps before being tackled to the ground. Cameras flashed wildly. Live broadcasts carried the arrest across every major network. As Chase was cuffed and led away, he locked eyes with Frank. You think you've won? He spat. Frank's expression was calm, unshaken. I didn't win, he said softly. The truth did. The room erupted in applause, not for revenge, but for justice. Carmen turned to Frank, eyes shining with emotion. You did it. No, he replied, voice steady. We did. Outside, thunder cracked across the sky as rain began to fall. But for the first time in 15 years, it didn't feel like a storm. It felt like a cleansing. Outside the expo center, the rain fell harder, drumming against the rooftop like 1,000 impatient fists. The crowd, now spilling out onto the steps, buzzed with disbelief and vindication. For the first time in years, Frank Hughes walked among them not as a disgraced engineer, but as the man who had pulled the curtain down on a billion-dollar lie. As they made their way through the parking lot, Carmen's phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen, and her breath caught. Frank, you need to see this. She turned the phone toward him. A news alert flashed. Reynolds Motors stock plummets. Board of Directors calls emergency session. Class action suits piling up. Below it, a live stream from a national news anchor cut in. This just in. Federal authorities have confirmed an ongoing investigation into Reynolds Motors. Multiple employees have turned whistleblower, with claims stretching back over a decade. Industry experts say this could be the largest corporate fraud case since Enron. Frank stared at the screen in silence. They can't rebuild from this, Carmen said. No, Frank agreed. But maybe the industry can. They didn't go home that night. Instead, Frank was invited to testify before a special Senate hearing 3 days later. What was supposed to be a closed session quickly became public, fueled by a nation's demand for answers. The chamber was packed. Cameras, reporters, politicians looking to distance themselves from dirty money they once embraced. Frank sat in the witness chair, hands steady, heart calm. He spoke not only of what was done to him, but what was done to consumers, to the environment, to trust itself. Technology is only as good as the people behind it, he told them. And we can't afford to put profit ahead of responsibility anymore. We have to be better than this. The applause was hesitant at first, but then it grew. Strong. Sincere. When he stepped outside the Capitol afterward, a young woman approached him. She was maybe 22, clutching a portfolio under her arm, nerves in her eyes. Mr. Hughes. Yes. My name's Kyra. I'm an engineering student. I almost gave up on this field when I read what happened to you. But today I changed my mind. Frank smiled. Then it was all worth it. The media storm lasted for weeks. Reynolds Motors collapsed. Chase Reynolds remained in custody, his father fleeing the country shortly after. Interpol was already on the hunt. But the biggest shift didn't happen in boardrooms or stock markets. It happened in classrooms, in garages, in young minds who'd been told that truth didn't matter as long as you won. Now they had proof it did. Frank returned to the place it all began, his small home in Ohio, the same garage where he'd first designed the engine. Carmen joined him, and together they reopened Hughes Dynamics. But this time, it wasn't about chasing contracts or competing with giants. It was about mentoring, about fostering innovation with ethics at the core. They launched a foundation for young engineers from underserved communities. No tuition, no debt, just opportunity. Within the year, they'd already sent 12 students into full-time programs and apprenticeships with top firms. Every now and then, Frank would get letters. Dear Mr. Hughes, one read, I saw you on TV when I was 14. I didn't know people like us could fight back and win. Thank you. Another, you made me believe in building again. And sometimes, he'd find Carmen at the window late at night, staring into the quiet. Do you regret not taking the buyout offer? She asked once. We could have been rich. Frank laughed, sipping his tea. Carmen, we're rich in ways those people never understood. We still have our names, our truth, and our future. The horizon beyond their little porch was wide and golden. The world had changed. Not perfectly, but honestly. And that, Frank believed, was more powerful than any engine he'd ever built.